Did you know that over 60% of electric vehicle owners do not know the critical maintenance that prevents expensive battery degradation? Most people think Teslas are maintenance-free, but that misconception has cost thousands of owners tens of thousands of dollars in premature failures. In today's video, we will reveal the 9 essential habits to make your Tesla last over 300,000 miles without major repairs. We will also expose the 12-volt battery failure that strands more Tesla owners than any other issue. Watch till the end for a bonus tip about a hidden coolant leak that can destroy your $16,000 battery pack. Let's dive in. Habit number 1. Master the 80% charging rule. Here's the truth. Your Tesla's battery is a chemical system, not a fuel tank. How you charge it determines whether it lasts 15 years or needs replacement at year 8. Most new Tesla owners plug in every night and charge to 100% because that is what we learned with gas cars. Fill it up, right? Wrong. Charging to 100% regularly puts stress on the lithium-ion cells, and it accelerates degradation. When you charge past 80%, the battery cells experience higher voltage and internal resistance. This generates excess heat and causes lithium plating on the anode. Think of it like overfilling a water balloon. The pressure at the edges creates weak points that eventually fail. Over time, this plating reduces capacity permanently. I have seen Model S vehicles with 120,000 miles showing 20% battery degradation because owners charge to 100% daily for years. That is the difference between 280 miles of range and 224 miles. The solution is simple. Set your daily charge limit to 80% in your Tesla app. Before long road trips, charge to 100% the night before you leave. The key word is occasionally. Once or twice a month will not hurt. Daily? That is battery murder. Keep it between 20 and 80% for daily use, and you will maximize longevity. Do not let your battery sit below 20% for extended periods either. Lithium-ion batteries do not like living at the extreme ends of their capacity range. Habit number 2. Replace your 12-volt battery every 3 years. This one surprises everyone. You bought an electric car with a massive battery pack, but the tiny 12-volt battery under the hood is what actually controls everything. When it dies, your entire car becomes a brick. The 12-volt battery powers the computers, the touchscreen, the door locks, and even the contactors that connect the high-voltage battery. If it fails, nothing works. I have seen Tesla owners stranded in parking lots because this battery died without warning. Tesla does not give you much notice. You might get a warning saying 12-volt battery needs service, but sometimes it just dies. One day your car works, the next day it is completely dead. The average 12-volt battery lasts 3 to 4 years, but in Teslas they tend to fail closer to 3 years because of constant vampire power draw. Even when parked, systems are monitoring battery temperature, checking for updates, and maintaining connectivity. Replace the 12-volt battery proactively at 3 years. The battery costs around $100, and you can do it yourself in 15 minutes, or pay Tesla around $250 for mobile service. Compare that to being stranded and paying for a tow truck. If you are buying a used Tesla, ask when the 12-volt battery was last replaced. If the answer is never and the car is over 3 years old, budget for that replacement immediately. Habit number 3. Flush your brake fluid every 2 years. I know what you are thinking. My Tesla barely uses the brakes because of regenerative braking. True, but your brake fluid is still a problem. Brake fluid is hygroscopic, which means it absorbs moisture from the air over time. Even if you are not using the brakes heavily, moisture still seeps in. Water in your brake fluid lowers its boiling point. In an emergency stop, especially going downhill when regenerative braking cannot handle it alone, your brake fluid can overheat and create vapor bubbles. That is called brake fade. Your pedal goes to the floor and nothing happens. I have opened brake fluid reservoirs on Teslas with 5 years and no service. The fluid was dark brown and the moisture content was over 4%. Fresh brake fluid has a boiling point around 460 degrees Fahrenheit. With 4% water contamination, that drops to under 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Tesla recommends brake fluid replacement every 2 years. It costs around $150 to $200 at a service center. Do not skip it just because your pads look new. Brake fluid degrades whether you use the brakes or not. Habit number 4. Rotate your tires every 6,250 miles. Tesla's instant torque is incredible, but that same torque destroys tires faster than any gas car I have worked on. Rear-wheel drive models wear the rear tires significantly faster. All-wheel drive models wear the fronts faster because of weight distribution and aggressive acceleration. Uneven wear does not just mean you replace tires sooner, it also reduces your range. Tires with uneven tread create more rolling resistance, which drains the battery faster. I have seen Model 3 cars with badly worn tires lose 15 to 20 miles of range, compared to the same car with fresh, evenly worn rubber. If your commute is 50 miles round trip, you are losing almost half your range capacity to tire friction alone. Tesla recommends tire rotation every 6,250 miles. A tire rotation costs $50 to $75 at a shop. Compare that to replacing all 4 tires at 40,000 miles instead of 60,000 miles. You are talking about an $800 to $1,000 difference. High-performance tires for a Model 3 Performance can run $1,200 to $1,500 per set. Check your tire pressure monthly. Even 5 pounds per square inch low can increase wear and reduce range by 3 to 5%. The built-in tire pressure monitoring system will alert you, but it only triggers when pressure is significantly low. Do not wait for the warning. Proper tire pressure is the cheapest range boost you can get. Habit number 5. Replace your cabin air filter every year. This sounds minor, but it protects one of the most expensive systems in your Tesla. The HEPA filter in newer models is serious engineering. When it clogs, it puts strain on the HVAC system, and that system costs over $15,000 to replace if it fails. When you ignore the cabin filter, your airflow gets weaker. You crank the fan speed higher, and that makes the blower motor work harder. Over time, that extra strain can burn out the motor. A clogged filter can also cause condensation buildup, which leads to mold and foul odors. Once mold gets into the HVAC ducting, it is nearly impossible to remove without disassembling the entire dashboard. Tesla recommends replacing the cabin air filter every 2 years, but I recommend every year, especially in areas with high pollen or pollution. The filter costs $25 to $50, and it is one of the easiest do-it-yourself maintenance tasks. If you pay Tesla, expect $75 to $100. If this kind of no-nonsense Tesla advice is helping you avoid expensive failures, hit that subscribe button. Habit number 6. Avoid supercharging above 80%. Supercharging is incredible, but using it incorrectly can permanently damage your battery. Supercharging generates significant heat, especially when charging past 80%. The charging speed slows dramatically after 80% because the battery management system is trying to protect the cells. Between 0 and 80%, the supercharger can push 150 to 250 kilowatts into your battery. But from 80 to 100%, the charge rate drops to 50 kilowatts or less. You end up sitting at the supercharger almost as long to gain the last 20% as you did for the first 80%. And during that slow charge, the battery is still heating up. I have analyzed battery degradation data from thousands of Teslas. Cars that regularly supercharge to 100% show faster capacity loss than cars that stop at 80%. We are talking about 2 to 3% more degradation over 5 years. On a long-range Model 3, that is 10 to 15 miles of range, you will never get back. Supercharge to 80%, unplug, and continue your trip. On long road trips where you need every mile, charging to 90 or 95% occasionally is fine. But if you are supercharging to 100% every week, you are accelerating battery aging unnecessarily. Habit number 7. Precondition your battery before supercharging. This is a feature most Tesla owners do not use, and it is costing them time and battery health. Preconditioning warms up the battery to the optimal temperature for fast charging. Without it, especially in cold weather, your supercharging speed can be cut in half. Lithium-ion batteries perform best between 68 and 86 degrees Fahrenheit. In cold weather, the battery's internal resistance increases, which means charging generates more heat and less energy actually goes into the cells. If you plug into a supercharger with a cold battery, the car has to warm the battery while charging, which is inefficient and generates uneven heat distribution. Tesla's navigation system automatically preconditions the battery when you route to a supercharger. You have to use Tesla's navigation. If you manually drive to a charger without routing through the navigation system, preconditioning will not activate. I have seen Model 3 owners in winter get 25 kilowatts at a supercharger when they should be getting 150 kilowatts. Always use the Tesla navigation to route to superchargers. The car will start warming the battery 15 to 20 minutes before arrival. This simple habit saves you time and protects your battery from thermal stress. Habit number 8. Inspect and replace suspension bushings at 100,000 miles. This is the maintenance item Tesla does not advertise. Tesla suspension uses polyurethane bushings in the control arms, and they wear out faster than traditional rubber bushings because of the car's weight. A Model 3 weighs over 4,000 pounds. A Model X weighs closer to 5,500 pounds. When bushings wear out, you will hear clunking noises over bumps. The steering will feel vague or loose. You will get uneven tire wear because the alignment shifts. I inspected Teslas with 120,000 miles where the front control arm bushings were completely torn and the metal was grinding directly on metal. Have bushings inspected at 100,000 miles and budget for replacement around 125,000 to 150,000 miles. A full front suspension bushing replacement costs around $1,500 to $2,000 at an independent shop. If you live in areas with rough roads, check them sooner. Habit number 9. Install software updates immediately. Tesla software updates often include critical battery management improvements. Over the years, Tesla has released updates that optimize charging algorithms, improve thermal management, and even unlock additional range. If you skip updates, you miss out on battery protection that could extend your pack's life. In 2020, Tesla pushed an update that improved battery preconditioning logic during supercharging. Cars that installed the update saw reduced thermal stress and faster charging speeds. Another update in 2021 adjusted the charging curve to reduce stress on cells with higher internal resistance. Schedule updates for overnight or when the car is parked at home. Updates can also fix phantom drain issues. I have seen Teslas lose 2 to 5% of battery overnight because of a software bug, and an update fixed it completely. Before we wrap up, here's a bonus tip. Check your high voltage battery coolant level every 50,000 miles. Most Tesla owners do not even know the battery has coolant, but it does. The battery pack uses a liquid cooling system to maintain optimal temperature. If the coolant level drops because of a slow leak, the battery can overheat, and that causes permanent capacity loss or even complete failure. Tesla does not advertise this as regular maintenance, but I have seen enough high-mileage Teslas with coolant leaks to know it is a real issue. A small leak caught early might cost $500 to fix. A battery pack damaged by overheating could cost $16,000 or more. Now that you know the 9 habits to make your Tesla last 300,000 miles, there is still a critical threat to your battery pack. In the next video, I will expose the 7 driving habits destroying your Tesla battery without you knowing. These are the mistakes that slash range by 20 to 30% and cost owners thousands in lost resale value. You do not want to miss it.